Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Two shows ending, uh, both of them not really talking about another season, but one of them more likely than not. And the one I'm talking about is definitely seemingly likely to do something, but at the same time, the way it ended, they could just be like, there was people around the world that we always had to worry about, but not in this story because we're not doing it. Assassin's Pride. Um, very confused. So by Melly becoming what she needed to be in the assassin's guy's eyes, he really doesn't have any other purpose but to serve and protect her now. So with that, it's kind of open to interpretation where they would go with the story in the case of people already knowing the true identity of our girl after this whole ordeal of inside of Alice in Wonderland's court of the Queen for some weird reason. I don't know why that's like the most popular part in Alice in Wonderland. I feel like to like the Japanese people that have made references of Alice in Wonderland, it's usually the Queen is always there. I've never seen Alice in Wonderland without the Queen or like the bunny's outfit, like the outfit, the top hat and all that stuff. Those are just two iconic things that was, I guess, really important to the people I've seen like them reference it to, because they went pretty ham with making it look relatively like the place on like the old cartoon and stuff. If you go and look, like, it was pretty nostalgic for me, which is cool. But it's Alice in Wonderland, so I also don't really care, like, it's not it's not a story that I was begging to hear about, or um, even, went out of my way to see it myself. It was just something that my parents had thrown on, and I had ended up watching it. But that being said, I honestly did not really care for the ending as a whole. Like, the battle was all right, and there were some parts where the main guy comes in and the fighting got worse somehow. How the fighting gets worse when you bring in a character that has way cooler looking abilities and mastery over the abilities he taught his apprentice, and somehow he shows up in the battle looks worse because of whatever the cause, like, that was pretty rough. And maybe it's the fact that they do so much effort into not showing the girl like underskirts and stuff like that. So maybe a lot of that takes, a lot of precision and careful editing in the case of, not even careful editing, but like, you have to make it so it just doesn't show up at all. And then if you make a weird position for her where it probably should have been shown, and then you're still trying to make it so it's not, that's just extra work you got to do in the animation and the editing, so editorial. But regardless, it was cool to see that, there wasn't any fan service really in this show at all throughout the whole entire couple of seasons. Or, see, geez, I'm struggling. Throughout this whole entire episode, and, the season as a whole, there wasn't stuff that you're just like, oh wow, if they didn't put this in, certain fans wouldn't be, interested in stuff like that. There really wasn't any of that, in my opinion, where you're just watching it and you can tell they're like, oh, hopefully this grabs someone's attention. Like, to be fair, they had some of the most shortest skirts or dresses that they were wearing that I've seen in anime, but for some reason the 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 animator and direction did not go to that type of, storytelling, or that type of camera views, which I appreciate. The storytelling, though, with the Duke showing up, and then, getting these two girls that were a part of the academy, pretty much like they were the third years, I'm pretty sure, and they were just pretty much under, not even under his control. They were just doing it because, he said so. And then after doing such, the whole time they were betraying him. Like, the whole time they had gone against his wishes practically every single time throughout the getting of her, when it came down to, first, the girl who gets her job done, you know, she like then dips out when she probably could have just not even, you didn't need to kill her, but you could have easily, you know, made it so she didn't get chased. But it was obvious that she wanted to get chased so she can do the Once Upon a Time Alice in Wonderland's thing. So that was all planned. But to go as far to they were, you know, not really trying. They were allowing her to do practically whatever she wanted, and then the girl who had the dragoon abilities did try, but at the same time, the girl with the black hair said she's not trying her hardest, though, because clearly there's something, you know, that is holding her back, being that she's already hung out with these girls and saved them once before, and even helped them catch up to this black-haired girl, so why would you then think she's going to go all out against somebody that she doesn't even really perceive as an enemy? She's just doing it because her brother told her to. And once he started to see how the battle was breaking down, I thought that was the coolest part of the week's episode, where our girl is just dancing on, you know, the fact that not only is she in danger and there's multiple upon multiple people watching, and she doesn't know if there's traps set, but all she knows is there's an enemy in front of her, and she's doing everything in her power to stop whatever you're trying to do. So stop her. And that was hype to me, because not only was she pretty much just dancing around stuff, she then also fakes her own misfooting to give the dragoon an idea that there's an opening about to approach, and she uses that to evade and, you know, get her one shot in that she needed to really take the battle. So she's super clean with it in the battles now. Like, she's getting dummy good at just feeling out a fight as is and taking out someone who can even fly by giving them false hope that their opponent's already open. That's crazy. And then we get the fake imposter father that's like some guy that's the same age as the Duke or younger, but for some reason he was mad tall. But we've come to find out that he was trash too. He was in the fairy world, which he ends up dying in there, and you don't die for real. So you experience some type of pain, but you're not dead for real. So no one actually seemingly were in danger, maybe, right? Like, why wasn't this guy in danger? Maybe because the guy who was controlling, or, you know, had the people controlling the realm made it so that was the case. There may have been a way to die in there for real, but who knows. I do look forward to seeing why the Duke or whatever has went into hiding. No one can find him, and that seems like the biggest talking point of this show now that it's come to its conclusion of season 1, because now all they have to really do is be like, okay, so the Duke is planning something to get revenge on a person who put him into hiding. That's one thing. Or you can completely introduce more of the monsters, which I was disappointed we saw nothing of. Like, what was the point of telling me there's vampires, chimeras, you know, all these different things, just to not even give them a pivotal role in the grand scheme of the show? So that's where my mind went. I was like, you're not going to just show me a vampire and then another vampire that can control, you know, two more that supposedly was like dead or something, and because he died, he still wouldn't even let them live on and, you know, live a normal life or whatever. So that's the type of stuff that I'm interested in the grand scheme of, if they're going to bring that back, or are they going to just make the Duke the main bad guy, or are they going to make the Duke work with monsters? What's going to happen in this show, I do not know. But if it comes back, I guess I might check it out again. But if it doesn't look like it's going to be going anywhere cool, fast, I'll probably drop it. I don't know. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it was only enjoyable because there was such a weird chance that the teacher wanted to assassinate his own student because she might not have been worthy. So a lot of interesting things in this show, but at the end of the day, it definitely disappointed with the lackluster ending, I feel like. But let me know what you guys felt on the ending. Maybe it'll change my mind and make me think about everything that happened in it. But at the same time, I highly doubt it's going to change me to be like, oh my god, I was always wrong about this show. It's the best show ever. But maybe the manga or a light novel did give some more information that they couldn't get to in the anime. I have no idea, but I hope you guys are having an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you as soon as possible. So with all that being said, take care and peace. Am I the one who powered up or you, Gerald? Like, what's going on here? I'm dead. Wow. Let's watch that in the replay. Never mind, I'm angry.